Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. That music you have just heard, we do not own the rights to that music. Sorry about that, everybody. But welcome once again. Welcome to Awareness Wednesday Prime Time. We're your host, Regent Victoria Flanagan, here in East Orange, New Jersey. Welcome to the platform. We're going to get ourselves started. So before we do that, I'm going to pass it over to my urchin, my beautiful 7/8 over here, my wife, Victoria Flanagan. I'm going to tell you reasons why this platform is very important to her, especially this topic of discussion tonight. Victoria, take it away.
Because we have to know, family. We have to find these things out. We have to know what's going on with our bodies after a certain age. I'm just here to fill you in.
Just here to inform you, right? All right. Well, very good. Thank you for that. Well, let's get our platform started. As you do know, there's so much that's going on that's plaguing our country, plaguing the world. I mean, there's a lot happening today, especially when it comes to health and health care. But the fact is, we are in a position where we can help and serve others with our platform, this Awareness Wednesday, keeping people aware of what's going on. Like Victoria always states, keeping your head on a swivel, just knowing what you know and getting information that you need to move forward and sharing that good information with others as well. And that's why we do this Awareness Wednesday platform to just keep everyone informed of all the different health issues that are going on out there, such as the one we're going to speak about today, and how the numbers are so astronomically high and rising. They continue to get higher and higher. But you know what? Again, we are a solution. So, with that being said, let's go into our topic with the serving God with healthy mind, body, and spirit. And our scripture, beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. And our power cup of health, we do have a disclaimer that we must put out every single Wednesday to protect ourselves as well as you. So our disclaimer reads as follows. This program offers health and nutritional information and it is designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on this information as a substitute for, nor does it replace professional medical or psychological advice, diagnose, or treatment. None of the statements made have been reviewed or approved by the FDA, Food and Drug Administration. We are going to be speaking about some products as well, and we do have a disclaimer for the products, nutritional products, good, healthy products we're going to speak about in reference to the topic of discussion as well. The products we're going to be speaking about have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. They're not designed to mitigate, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, but all we do know is that we do have, by our opinion, the best products on this side of heaven. As our business partner, Minister Bennett Terrell, always states. That's our mantra. So with that, I'm going to pass this over so we can get our platform started. We are talking about what? Menopause today.
Sure.
What do you know? Look, I mean, if you look at the numbers, they're absolutely through the roof. When we talk about in 2030, how many people are going to be women are going to be affected with menopause? That's such
2030, 2020. How about that?
we're talking 1.2 billion by 2030. We may exceed that one anyway, based on where it's happening, right? So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Victoria, the certified health coach. Going to give you a discussion and have it on menopause. Take it away, darling. Menopause is the topic of discussion. Who do you know?
I thank you, sir. Thank you. It's a pleasure working next to this gentleman that I could bounce all of this information off of. I found my book too this afternoon. I found my whole pamphlet on menopause.
Menopause.
Uh-huh. But everything that's in this pamphlet is in this report I talked about this morning. So here we
Yes.
go, family. Menopause. We talked about, what did we talk about last week? Loneliness.
Mhm.
It was loneliness. It was domestic violence. Next week, we're going to have breast
Breast
cancer.
cancer
This
next
is
week.
breast cancer month.
We'll close
So
out
we
the
were
month with
going to
that.
with that.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So I chose menopause because it's just a woman thing, something to do, family. So here we go with menopause. It's something women go through so much and don't half of the time don't know what's going on
Mhm.
with your body. And that's why I always say, listen to your bodies. Listen to your bodies because your body is always talking to you.
Correct.
Always, always. So here's our report on menopause. It states that menopause is a natural part of aging, which it is. It is the time in a woman's life when her normal menstrual periods stop and she can no longer become pregnant. There are three stages of menopause. You have perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And this is for men too. If you got a man
Yeah.
in the living room, you need to pull him in and have him sit down and watch this as well. Because it's best that you explain it so you could go through this together so you'll know that you're not alone. So perimenopause is the first one. It's the first stage of a woman's reproductive life that begins several years before menopause, when the ovaries gradually begin to produce less estrogen. It can begin as early as 35. As early as 35, you could go through menopause. Yeah, some would say that's way too early. So early signs of perimenopause, if you smoke on the average, who smoke reach menopause 1.5 years earlier than those who don't. The longer you have been smoking, the more the smoke, the stronger the effects of menopause is going to be. Smoking makes everything worse. Absolutely everything. Next one is menopause. They called it the change of life. It is a time of freedom from your menstrual cycle and the onset of wisdom and power that it can come with erotic periods, unusual heavy or light bleeding. It can also come with the signs of hot flashes and night sweats.
Ooh.
Not everybody gets that though. It's different from every single woman. It truly is. So you got to know that. So once the menopause woman has gone 12 months, a whole full year without bleeding, you're in menopause. The transition is generally considered complete when she enters post-menopause. She is also no longer ovulating. Menopause isn't a one-size-fits-all event. It affects each woman differently. Some women reach natural menopause with little to no trouble than others. Others experience severe symptoms, dramatically hampering their lives. Some people really go through it, y'all. They really do. So menopause, like I said, it's not a one size fit all. I was in this program last night, watching this program last night, and they were talking about menopause, how to lose weight going through menopause. It's not what you think it is. So that's why I said we truly have to know our bodies. You have to know your bodies. So there's some health issues that are associated with menopause and postmenopause stages in your life. Here's some symptoms. Decreased levels of estrogen may lead to increased risk of osteoporosis. That's bone loss.
Yes, it is.
You have osteopenia where you start losing bone loss
Younger
even
age.
earlier.
Mhm.
They got women in their late 20s, early 30s going through osteopenia. So bone loss is going to happen. It is truly going to happen if not taking care of yourself. The next one, the change in the level of estrogen may also be contributing factor to the development of heart disease. That's why women are exposed to heart disease later in their life. The next one is the tissues in the vagina tend to thin, causing chronic irritation, vaginal dryness, and susceptible to infections. You're capable of getting any type of infection going through menopause. Got to keep your bodies up to par, ladies, or you're just going to fall apart after a certain age. You just be breaking down and don't know what's going on. So it also says decreased estrogen levels is accompanied with decreased production of collagen and elasticity. These two proteins responsible for maintaining skin integrity. As these levels decrease, the skin becomes thinner, drier, and more susceptible to injury. Look at your skin. You can tell a lot about how a person is living just through their skin. Really look at the face. The face is like the eyes are windows of the world, but look at the face. Look at the skin. You can tell a lot about somebody's skin of if they're hydrated, dehydrated, if they smoking, doing drugs, if they got diabetes. You can just tell in their skin. So these are some symptoms of menopause. Here we go. Ernest is on. Hey, Ernest. These are some symptoms of menopause. Not all women have this because it's to your own discretion. Everybody doesn't go through it the same way. So some have hot flashes,
Yes.
night sweats, vaginal dryness, insomnia, dizziness, heart palpitations, headaches, memory loss, cold feet and hands, reduced libido. You don't want to be bothered. Mood swings up and down. You don't know what's going on. Depression and anxiety. You want to lose your mind. The next one is fatigue. You're tired for no reason. What about joint pain? You got joint pain and you know you didn't do anything. Another one is skin changes. You get acne, facial hair, and you can even lose your hair on your head, scalp hair loss. See your healthcare provider if you have any of these symptoms. Men, I see some men on here too. Check with your wives because they're not in this by themselves. You're going through it. If she's going through it, you going through it too.
Yes, that's true.
So your healthcare provider can help you with any of these symptoms. They can test you by doing a complete CBC. That's a blood count. They're going to do your blood work. Check your thyroid. They're going to check your thyroid panel, your blood, your saliva, your urine. The most important test is bone density. That's a DEXA test. They're going to do a DEXA test. It's a body scan for bone reabsorption assessment. They can do check your urine. They're going to also check hormone testing, thyroid, DHEA, cortisone, testosterone. IGF-1 is another thing that they test for, estrogen, progesterone, and saliva and blood and urine. So you got to get these tests done when you get to a certain age. It just is what it is. So work with your healthcare provider for good treatment. And I said before, this is not a one size fit all. Here's some other symptoms of menopause. Every woman's going to go through something different. This is on my Facebook page. There's 34 menopause symptoms that's not usually talked about. I just went over some. Allergies is one. You can start developing allergies going through menopause because your
Who
body is
knew?
just open to
Going through many
everything.
changes, right?
Now you
Yeah,
have
who knew?
allergies. Anxiety, bloating is one. Body odor.
Mm.
You get to a certain age and now you got a body odor. You might not pick it up, but the people around you might get it. What is that smell? You can develop a body odor going through menopause. You can have some breast pain, some brittle nails,
Right.
burning of the tongue. That I didn't
I didn't
know.
know about burning
She
of the
talked
tongue.
about it last night
Yeah,
on the Facebook thing.
right.
Burning of the tongue. Your tongue just feels like it's on fire
Who knew that?
in your
Wow.
mouth, right? Another one is depression, we just
That we
spoke
know.
about. Difficulty concentrating, that's a big one. You feel like you're losing your mind. You talk to your doctor about it, and they'll say, it's nothing wrong with you, it's all in your head. That's what the doctors are going to say. The next one is digestive problems. Now you done develop some digestive issues. Your stomach is just all over the place.
And those are probably men doctors.
Probably. Dizziness is another one. Electric shocks. This was another one I didn't know about.
Electric
You
shocks.
get these little things that go through you. She talked about it on the webinar last night as well. You can have some fatigue, gum problems. Your gums are going to start bothering you going through menopause. I'm telling you, get a certain age, your check engine light comes on.
And stay
Everything
on.
just start falling apart. Your gums are bothering you now. Now you need a tooth pull or you need a tooth fill and something's going on with your teeth. The next one is hair loss, headaches, hot flashes. Incontinence
Right.
is another one. Go
You
ahead.
got hot flashes and electric shocks.
Uh, you having power surges. That's what I said, little power surges.
Jeez, you all messed up.
But a lot of women are going through this and they don't know what's happening.
I can see.
They don't know what's going on. This could hit you at work just out of the blue. You could be anywhere. You could be in a supermarket. You could be anywhere. And this just starts to hit you. And then you dismiss it and it keeps coming back. And you don't know what's going on until you go to the doctor.
Did you share them what your sister did?
Oh,
this morning?
This morning I went to when I was small, I went to the supermarket with my sister, my oldest sister. And we were in the supermarket and she started to have a flash. She said it starts at her ankle and she said it gets really, really hot and it works its way all the way up to your neck. And she was in a suit because she worked at the hospital. By the time we got to the register, my sister was in her bra. She had a skirt on, but she done come out her jacket and her blouse. She was at the register in her bra.
So
and I was so
sweat it out.
embarrassed. I said I was going to go wait in the car. But that was a hot flash. You can look in her face and see how flushed she was. She was red. She was sweating. I mean, running down her face.
Mm,
That was a hot flash for her. And I was like, what is that? I hope I don't get that. Whoa, my God,
mm,
what is
mm, mm,
that?
mm,
It happens. It totally, totally happens. Start at your ankles and just roll up like a fireball
mm.
rolling up your body. It happens.
Mm, mm, mm.
So the next one is incontinence. And that's not being able to hold your urine or you're leaking at night. And it happens to a lot of our
Weakness
elders.
bladder.
Yeah, you got a weak bladder and they got this thing they can insert in you to
Mm,
absorb some of the water and then it's you wake up wet. Every morning you wake up wet and you can't keep doing that because then you'll get an infection. So they have to come in, they got to change you, they got to turn you. It's a lot that's going on.
mhm.
Ladies, not saying you're going to get these, but I'm just saying this could happen. The next one is irregular heartbeat. Your heart is just pounding all over the place, so you don't know. Irregular periods is another one.
Mhm.
Your period is fluctuating all over the place. You know you're in menopause, but why are you bleeding at 60? Come on. You know something's got to be wrong. Irritability, everything gets on your last nerve and your
Mhm.
reserve nerve.
If you have one.
You can't take it anymore. These are some menopause symptoms. Like I said, joint pain, loss of libido, you don't want to be bothered, memory lapse. You could put something down and just wait a minute, where did I put that? What
Mm.
did I put? You ain't got to go through menopause to go through that. That
That's
happens
happening
to
now.
everybody. I'm
Senior
just saying,
moments.
senior moments, little memory losses. Mood swings are another one. You can have your highs and your lows. Muscle tension, night sweats, osteoporosis. You got panic disorders. You got women going through panic
Hmm.
disorders. I mean, really freaking out. That was Jeanette Hightower. Just freaking out. You just pop up and just lose it. So that can happen. Panic disorders, sleep disorders where you just can't sleep. You lay down for a couple hours, boom, you back up. You back up, walking the floor. You're looking for something. Those are sleep disorders. Tingling in your extremities. That's that little tingling, something like neuropathy
Hmm.
in your hands and in your arm. You might even get it in your arms.
Hmm.
A vaginal dryness, and then the last one is weight gain. That seems to be the big one. That's what the whole
Right.
Zoom meeting was about last night that I jumped into. She was talking about how women can lose weight going through menopause. It's not what you think it is. You got to change your eating habits and you have to go along with your biological clock. I mean, they really broke it down last night. So as there's different stages in menopause, we talked about perimenopause usually starts in mid 40s. The symptoms are intense, and then your fertility it declines rapidly. That's in your mid 40s. By the age of 51 is the average of going through menopause. 51 and over. Mid to intense are your symptoms,
Mm.
and then your fertility officially ends. You can't have any children. So postmenopause is from menopause onward. You can go through this at any stage postmenopause. The symptoms none to mild. Some don't have any symptoms at all. To
Mm.
mild symptoms, and then your fertility ends. It's just gone, family. It really is. Now I was saying them to them this morning. I didn't go through all of that menopause stuff. I
Not
didn't
all
go
of
through the
that.
hot
Mm-mm.
flashes and the night sweats and all of that. Not nothing like my sister had. I didn't go through any of that. Or you get those power surges during the day. I don't have any of that either. But you got to be thankful for the little things that you do have, because some women are out here suffering.
Now,
And
not all women get
no,
menopause. Some just go through life without it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Going through it
Right.
without
My mom
anything,
too.
with anything. Well, maybe
As
they
far
went
as I,
through it. We
yeah,
just didn't
didn't know
know.
about it.
They
Yeah.
didn't know about it.
True that.
So there's also options for hormone treatment options. They have vaginal creams, they got gels, they got oral supplements and skin patches. They got some stuff out there for you
Mm.
now. But if a woman, listen to this, because this was what they talked about last night. If a woman is healthy, active, and well nourished, she can avoid these harsh and possible dangerous medications that's out there. Because the hormone therapy is not for everybody. It's just not. And if you take care of yourself, you will skip past some of these things. And they talk about that in the report last night. It talks about diet in the report. If you begin to incorporate these suggestions into your diet at the onset of perimenopause, you will likely experience far fewer problems when menopause begins. You got to eat a plant-based diet. Y'all know I talk about that
All the
every
time.
single Wednesday. You got to eat a plant-based diet, whole grains, your legumes, fresh vegetables, and fruits. Good source of cold water fish like salmon and tuna, as well as some flax seeds, your vitamin E. It regulates your estrogen. Also, ground flaxseed is loaded with omega 3s, and water flushes toxins out of your body. We're not nearly
Drinking
drinking
enough
enough
water.
water. She talked
Hmm.
about that last night.
And
We
that's
should
a
be
key
drinking
component
half of our body weight
in
in
ounces.
ounces.
Hmm.
She said when you mentioned that to people, it's like, what are you talking
Okay.
about? I got to start drinking water as soon as I get up. She said, yes,
Yes,
that's
that's
what you're supposed
important.
to do.
Yes.
Room temperature water first thing in the morning
Yeah.
when you wake up. But that's the way it's supposed to go. So all of your vegetables are really, really good for you. It also talks about Ginkgo biloba is for your memory. We have it in our green 29. Gunta cola is also great for your body. We have that in our yellow Lviv. Omega 3, 6, and 9, we have that in our omega 3, 6, and 9.
Hmm.
The report also talks about pineapples are great for inflammation.
And they are.
If you suffer from any type of inflammation, any swelling of anywhere, get you a
Arthritis,
pineapple.
bursitis, pineapple.
Get you a pineapple, cut up the
Hmm.
pineapple, and I'm gonna tell you what I do. I buy a whole pineapple. You let it sit out for a couple of days so it can get real juicy. You can tell by the bottom of the pineapple. And sometimes you'll start to smell it in your kitchen. Once you start to smell it, you know you got to cut it. But that's the first thing is the pineapple. And then you cut the sides off, cut the top and the bottom off, and I cut it into squares and I put it in a big giant mason
Mason jar.
jar. And usually one full pineapple can fill a large mason jar.
Hmm.
And I use it for my juices and things like that. But pineapple is great for inflammation. Also, our cranallo that we have is good for inflammation. We'll get to those a little later. There are some herbs out there that work for menopause too. You got black cohosh. This works for really good for menopause. And then young girls that's going through cramps and all of that other kind of stuff, they got to clean up their diet. But these are some herbs that help with menopause. Black cohosh, you got dung quai, you got belladonna, you got red clover, and you got chasterberry. These are some herbs that work with hot flashes, work with menopause. It is also best to let your health care provider know what herbs that you're taking regularly because some herbs, listen family, some herbs intend to act interact with some drugs if you're on drugs in a way that either decreases the drug's potency
Hmm.
or changes its effects. This is because both use the same metabolic pathways in
Hmm.
your liver.
That's true.
So you don't want one thing to cancel out something else. You don't want that. So you got to let your doctor know what's going on and what you're taking. So you want to get plenty of your cruciferous vegetables. Those are all your green vegetables. Is associated with a decreased risk of breast cancer, breast tenderness, and bloating. You want to try, and they're high in calcium. These are all your green vegetables. You got collard greens, you got broccoli, you got kale, you got spinach, turnip greens, mustard greens, and even bok
Bok
choy.
choy.
You got to divide, and then you also have what we just have asparagus, you got Brussels sprouts, anything that's green, you want to get a lot of
Broccoli,
that.
of course.
I'm telling you, you want to
Love
get a
that.
lot of that into your system. We should be eating that stuff anyway,
We really
not just
should.
on special
Hmm.
occasions. You should be having some greens on your plate every single day anyway.
And what's great, you can eat a lot of it. I mean, and just
Exactly.
consume a bunch
And
of it,
don't
which is
have
good for
any
you.
ingredients that
None,
you need to read, and you
but
can
things your
eat
body
what you
needs.
want. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, menopause. Here's some things you definitely need to stay away from if you don't want to go through all those other issues. Some foods to avoid. You want to reduce red meat. You
Hmm.
hear that, Miss Sean Davis? Reduce red meat. She don't eat red meat. I hear you. No red meat. The hormone-free animals produce products to avoid causes hormone imbalance.
Hmm.
Because I was saying this morning, they pump all these hormones into these animals, and once you cut it and cook it, you eating all of that too. So if you don't want to go through all of that, don't eat that stuff for real. You got to back away from not just red meat, meat in general. People think chicken is better than red meat. That chicken ain't no better than red meat. I'm telling y'all. If y'all look up from what is it, Farm to Freezer,
Hmm.
that documentary, y'all wouldn't eat nothing that got four legs.
Especially if you're not growing it yourself.
I'm telling you for real. The next one is depleted calcium from your diet. You got to get rid of dairy. I said that when I did the report, dairy is scary. No milk, no eggs, no cheese, no caffeine, and alcohol drinks aggravates hot flashes.
Because it's loaded with sugar.
I'm telling y'all, sugar and dairy.
Hmm.
Dairy is scary. I did that report. Dairy is scary. You got to be mindful of what you're really putting in your body because it's loaded with hormones.
Is cheese dairy, honey?
Yes, it is.
What is it considered to be?
Hard milk.
There it is.
That's what cheese is. It's hard milk. Everybody say cheese ain't dairy. Duh.
Yeah, it
But
is.
but if you look at the commercials on TV, they used to have a commercial, got milk. Everybody's drinking milk and got the white
White
mustache.
mustache. That's the
And then they found out that milk causes it produces a lot of mucus, a whole lot of mucus. A lot of kids develop asthma and
or if you
allergies from
had
all this
asthma,
that
that's one thing you should not drink.
it's going to make it worse. So then they found out that that was
Inflammatory
bad for you.
foods.
So they pulled the milk commercials, but then they start putting cheese on everything. I'm telling you, the burgers on TV are so big. The burgers are so big. It got all the cheese oozing down the side. So they're going to pull the milk away from you.
Off TV and out of magazines as well.
Exactly, but they're gonna put cheese in everything. They got what was the pizza that had the cheese in the
Oh
crust?
yeah, cheese in the
Got
crust.
cheese
Crust
on the
filled
pizza and cheese
cheese in
in
the
the
crust
crust.
too.
Like,
Come on, man.
but cheese is dairy, family. So if you don't want your hot flashes and your menopause symptoms to be even worse, get away from the dairy. Back away from the milk, the eggs, the cheese, and caffeine. Also, alcohol drinks have a lot of sugar
Sugar.
in it, so you got to be mindful of that. Alcohol drinks, it aggravates your hot flashes.
Because it affects your liver.
You got it. So,
Hmm.
substances your brain doesn't need. Listen to this on menopause, ladies. This is for your brains. Brains are part of your body, and you got to feed your brains like you feed the rest of your body. Aluminum. Aluminum is a brain toxic. Aluminum. We have to express that because people don't understand how these toxins are entering our bodies. Aluminum is a brain toxic. It is recommended to avoid aluminum cookware. If you are cooking out of aluminum pots, you need to throw them in the trash.
Exactly.
If your pots are scratchy and they're peeling
Throw
because
them
you done
out.
scraped them with the fork and the whole nine
Throw
yards,
them
throw
out.
those pots in the garbage. Every
Please.
time you turn that fire on, you put your food in there, you are eating some of that aluminum. So
Whether you see it or not, it's in there.
absolutely get rid of those aluminum pots. All them pots that say what's it non-stick,
Non-stick.
non-stick.
Now
That stick.
there's some that are ceramic
You got to get ceramic, stainless
or
steel,
cast
and
iron.
cast iron.
Those
Those
are the
are the
best
things that
ones.
we should be
That's
cooking out
right.
of, right, Sean?
That's
What's
right.
the Sonoma place that she talked about? We get her pots. But those are the things that we should be
Hmm.
cooking our food in. The next one is antiperspirants are loaded with aluminum. Look for deodorants that does not have any aluminum in it.
Correct.
Now, I want you to understand your deodorant that has aluminum, you are rubbing it directly into the lymph nodes
Of
under
your
your
pit.
arms.
Hmm.
You're getting it in there as fast as they can shoot it in if they shot it in a shot. Beware of the aluminum that's inside of your deodorant.
Now you notice a lot of companies are now taking that out of their deodorant, but still there's some out there. You got to be mindful. Check yours.
Absolutely.
What's that app?
It's the Yucca app.
Yucca app that you can
It's
put on your phone.
Yuka Yucca app.
Correct. You can
You
scan
can
your
scan
product,
everything with the
everything.
Yucca app.
It'll tell you if that deodorant's good or not.
It'll tell you if your deodorant is good. It'll tell you if your food is organic.
Correct.
If it's poor, if it's bad, it'll rate it. and then it will give you other options that you can choose
That's
from.
better.
It's called the Yucca app, and it has an orange carrot on it.
Hmm.
Program that on your phone, and when you go shopping,
Scan some
you're gonna
stuff.
be scanning everything. I was just in Costco, I was scanning everything. But you need to know, family, and that app is there for a reason. You'd be surprised all the things that we've been taking in for years, and then you wonder why you got cancer.
Hmm.
I'm just saying. So the other one is your deodorants. They contain aluminum. Aluminum soda cans is another one. Aluminum, she was saying aluminum pans from the dollar store.
Yeah.
That's aluminum. So you got to be mindful of that.
Don't buy, if you're going to be cooking, don't buy cheap pans. Get something,
Please.
please don't. It's worth your investment. You're going to get something that's going to keep you long term through family, through generations.
Right.
Stainless steel, cast iron, ceramic are the best ones. And you can get good sets and in cookware. So get something that you're going to be, that's going to be healthier for you. That's going to sustain.
You're
Exactly.
gonna keep those pots and pans for a
Don't
long
just don't
time.
buy cheap.
We got these artist pots and
Stainless
pans.
steel,
You
right.
need to get those.
Oh
It's
boy, them
been
things
some
been in for
years, and you
years.
talk about some good pots
Those
and
are some
pans.
really good pots.
That's the top of the
It
line of
is.
stainless steel,
It
those
is.
artist pots.
Heavy, strong,
And you
very
can wipe them
durable.
right out. You ain't
Mm,
got to scrub nothing.
nope.
Everything just wipes right out of those pans. I'm so glad we got those.
I'm so glad
Okay,
too.
the next one is aluminum. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Aluminum is also found in your flu vaccine.
Hmm.
Aluminum. They are putting it, that they ain't putting it, it's in your
Makes you
shot.
think, why would they put aluminum knowing it's bad for you? Why they put it in the flu shot? What's the reason? Why they put it in
Mm,
anything?
mercury in there too.
Yeah. Why
So
they put
think about that. These are some toxins that's not supposed to enter your body, but it's in there. Think about it. For years now, y'all, think about it. But aluminum is found in your flu vaccine. The next one to avoid, this is a big one. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago, is aspartame.
mm,
Aspartame is another name for sugar.
fake sugar?
Fake sugar, that's those little equal and NutraSweet, all those little colorful packages that's on the table. That stuff is straight poison. Stay away from it. It causes your nerve cell to overfire. This is a setup for a wide range of neurological symptoms from this aspartame, including headaches, dizziness, anxiety attacks. This from aspartame, y'all. Memory loss, muscle spasms, mood swings, heart palpitations, chest pains, blurred vision, decreased sense of taste, water retention from aspartame. Avoid sugar. You definitely want to avoid aspartame. A lot of those drinks, those little fizzy
Have
drinks
a
that
lot of
they
aspartame in
got
them.
aspartame in it. So you got to know what's in what you're taking in. And you wonder why they can't find a cure for cancer. They got a cure for cancer. It's in your kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Know what you're putting in your mouth. So that's just some of the neurological symptoms of aspartame. The next one is to wind down at the end of the night from menopause. If you can't get comfortable or get yourself in a calm state, here's some things that you can do. To wind down, is you can have some chamomile tea,
That'll relax you.
peppermint tea,
Mm-hmm.
passion flower tea, or valerian tea. That valerian tea is, I'm telling you, it's a muscle relaxer. It will knock you right on out. You get a good night's sleep. Or drink some hot yellow Lviv. Mellow you right on out. All these are blood vessel dilators, so you can get you some sleep. You can also get a massage to relieve stress because you're so wound up from this menopause. You can treat yourself to a massage. You can treat yourself to hydrotherapy,
Mm-hmm.
or you can do a warm sit bath. It will increase your circulation to your pelvic area and will improve vaginal dryness and decrease libido. I was telling them about the yoni bath this morning. Ladies, I don't know if you've ever had a yoni bath. They're like little sit baths that you can sit over and it stings your vagina. If you've never had one of those, we went to a retreat and they did it at the retreat. That was refreshing. But you got to treat yourself to a yoni bath. Brittany just did it the
Yeah, I
other
know she
day.
did. I know she did.
It's
Yeah.
refreshing if you've never done it before. The next one is aromatherapy. They can also relieve stress. You get you some jasmine, some rose oils. You can burn them or you can put them in your bath. I know they have the bath bombs now, the little balls you could throw in the tub. Very, very relaxing. Very relaxing. Or you can walk. Walking alleviates hot flashing. Y'all see me walking.
Exercise, period, Will.
I be getting it, y'all. I be getting it. The next one is try to work out with weights.
Yes.
That's what she talked about last night in the Zoom
Ladies,
presentation.
ladies, ladies.
We need weights,
You definitely
ladies.
need weights.
She said after 45, we
Weight
start to
lift.
lose the muscle and our bones start to decline. That's where the osteoporosis come in. But we have to lift weights. We
Yes.
have to. I was telling them about this morning, Ernestine Shepherd.
Oh, yeah.
If y'all don't know who she is, look her up. Miss Ernestine
Mhm.
Shepherd. Right now, she's 88. She's a bodybuilder. Absolutely beautiful. She gets up and works out every single day. Look at her body. Look at her skin. She is beautiful to be 88.
And you notice there's a lot of seniors now who are doing that, getting
They
into
are.
lifting,
They sure are.
weightlifting, which is very good for them,
You
strengthening
gotta
their muscle.
gotta do that, ladies.
Yes.
You're gonna get
Yes.
weak knees. You're gonna get your little weak hips. That's why the elderly always falling over and breaking the hip, or you're breaking the ankle. You're breaking something because you're
Mhm.
just old, and you don't want to
But you're
get
brittle.
old. You're getting
You're losing
exactly.
muscle,
You're
and
losing muscle.
you gotta keep those muscles strengthened.
So it says regular
Mm-hmm.
exercise with weights to strengthen and bone
Mm-hmm.
density.
Indeed.
Regular exercise improves your general health, or all is well for some symptoms of menopause. Living a healthy lifestyle is very important throughout a woman's life period. We should be eating right, exercising, all that anyway, even with the lifestyle if you got kids. And it's not too late to start. You can start at any age because I think Ernestine didn't start till she was in her late 50s, early 60s. But it's never too late to start exercising. So get your exercise on. Get a checkup that includes measuring your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and your waistline. I tell you, your waistline can tell you so much about your body. It truly, truly can. Now, here's some other things that you could add in your diet. Cinnamon is one. I didn't know cinnamon had all of these benefits. We should be putting cinnamon on every doggone thing, putting it on the back of your hand and just eating it. Cinnamon, especially powerful during menopause.
Who
Powerful.
knew?
Cinnamon. And it is particularly useful for low libido and edema. Cinnamon. It's also good for diabetics. Cinnamon. Aloe vera is another one. Aloe vera cools and cleanses the liver when taken internally, helping with hot flashes, sweating, and swelling. Aloe vera. We have that in our green Lviv. Also, ginseng will help with anxiety, irritability,
And cranberry.
increase mental alertness, also boost your vitality and prevent feeling of fatigue. You're going to feel tired. You know, you get a certain age, you can't run like you used to.
Nope.
You're going to get tired. You sit down and you sitting down for a minute. Sitting down is the new smoking. I did a report on that too. You got to get up out that chair. You got to move them knees. You don't move them, you're going to lose them for real.
Mm-hmm.
Another one they said is dandelion. I drink the dandelion tea. It cleanses the liver. It's a natural diuretic. We have our cran aloe, which is a natural diuretic. And dandelion helps to detox the body. So does our cran aloe. So we good. Milk thistle can treat a lumpy and painful breast. Milk thistle. Milk thistle regenerates your liver, helps to clean out your liver, but it's also good to treat lumpy breasts and painful
Hmm.
breasts. We got milk thistle in our green Lviv. I'm telling you. The other one that says, we talked about this, black cohosh can restore female hormone balance, prevent night sweats, hot flashes. Others is licorice, alfalfa, and dunquai.
Mm-hmm.
Valerian tea improves quality of sleep and it can treat insomnia. Yeah, that's why I said you might hear the same thing twice because I get my information from different sources. Omega-3, these are the good fats, also decreases cell inflammation. Omega-3 is also good for inflammation. Get you some walnuts. That's the next thing. Walnuts are excellent. So take during important life transitions. Just a handful of
That's
walnuts.
it.
This one in his
I'm
nuts.
telling you.
Just a handful of walnuts will do you.
That's it.
just to get you through midlife crisis. But nuts are good for you anyway. If you eat
Hmm.
a good amount of nuts every single day, you won't need no medicine because nuts is just like a natural medicine. It really is. You got nuts
All
for
kind of nuts,
cholesterol,
almonds,
you got
cashews,
cashews, you got
walnuts,
Brazil nuts.
sunflower
It's
seeds,
like a medicine
pumpkin
that
seeds.
God put here for us to
Yeah.
indulge in.
A friend of mine, I was going to tell you, a friend of mine made some pumpkin seeds. He cleaned out his pumpkin for his children, but he took the seeds, he baked them, and dried them, and put the sea salt on them, and brought them. And we all had some. Absolutely
Yeah, you can do
delicious.
that. Pumpkin
Yes,
seeds, you got
you can eat the whole thing,
pumpkin
shell and
seeds are
all.
good for men and erectile
Yeah.
dysfunction. Pumpkin seeds. So your seeds, you want to eat your seeds, family. Just a handful of, and seeds are expensive. That should let
Hmm.
you know how good they are for you. Go in the go in the
You'll
supermarket and look
see.
for some nuts. Nuts are expensive, but they're excellent for you, for
Yes.
real. Almonds can lower your cholesterol. There's certain nuts for certain things. You got the Brazil nuts, you got the cashews. Different nuts are good for different things. Hey, Miss Lisa Gordon. Okay, it said the midlife weight control exercise.
Hmm.
She said nutrition is king. Nutrition is queen.
Good
You
nutrition.
can't top nutrition.
Hmm.
Take care of your body will take care of you. You got to put good things in your body,
To
good
get the good
things
things
in
out.
to get good things
That's
out. She
right.
talks about that all the time.
Absolutely do.
It says your skeletal muscles are designed to burn blood sugar
Hmm.
effectively, which is why maintaining adequate muscle mass and exercising regularly are important keys to maintaining stable blood sugar. Got to keep moving your body. Got to keep moving your body, family. I'm telling you. The next one it says fat weighs less than muscle, so it takes up more space. That's why I said if you do your BMI, your body mass index, and you have a high number, that's if you have muscle. If you don't have muscle, the rest of that is fat, y'all.
Hmm.
But muscle is going to weigh more than
Fat.
fat. So your body mass index might be off a little bit. She also talked yesterday about GLP-1s. We're going to talk about that. A lot of women are jumping, men and women, going through menopause are jumping on these GLP-1s. These are the shots that's just taking the world
What
by
is about
storm.
five different
You
types,
got
six different
Ozempic, you
types?
got Wegovy, you got Manjaro, you got Zepbound, you got Zoe. It's so many
Hmm.
of these GLP-1s out there. But you got to do your research because
Because they're not for
now
everybody.
the side effects are coming in and they're not good. Not good at all.
Hmm.
Some of the side effects, they're paralyzing people's stomachs. Some people are throwing up. You can't keep nothing down. A lot of the stars talked about it too. That
Cedric
they can't
Entertainer
take
talked
this.
about it.
He said,
He
I
can't take
can't
it.
take it. It just
Yeah.
messed my stomach up. But once you get on these things, it's very, very hard to get off. But what the lady said, he said there's so many people on it, they're losing so much weight, they going back down to their damn
Mm.
birth weight. They 6 pounds and 13 ounces. You need to get off of those GLP-1s for real. Everything is not for everybody. It's
No.
just not. You have to know your body. Really have to know your body. Uh, okay, let me see what else we got here. I did that. She was talking about last night. Intermittent fasting is not for everybody either. You got to know your body. You got to know your circadian rhythm. When you get up in the morning, we should eat while the sun is up, and once the sun go down, you need to stop eating. Period. We're supposed to live off of one meal a day. Where does 3 meals come from?
That was programmed.
That was programmed. One meal a day.
One good meal a day.
Good meal a day.
With
You
good
can have
snacking, you can
several
have
now
snacks, but good stuff.
exactly. You can have several snacks
Yeah.
throughout the day, but one good meal a day.
Nuts, berries, fruit,
There you
something
go.
good.
But that's a good thing. She talked about snacks too. Certain snacks that you can have. Whole
Hmm.
wheat bread with almond butter. Popcorn is good. Rice cakes are good. Nuts of all kind are good. Drink your water. She was really, really big on the water. Half of your body weight in ounces. We got to make better choices. She talked about this just last night in this the report I jumped in on. Brain fog. She said the brain fog is coming. Just get ready. You're going to wind up losing some of your membranes over there. But as we age, your brain shrinks anyway. So you got to be mindful of that. So I found, she said, our food is our fuel. Eat good stuff. What about when the doctor subscribes to GLP-1 for
Prescribe those.
diabetes? Some people need it for diabetes.
Yeah,
If you're a diabetic and you got to take it, do what your doctors tell you. But we're not doctors. But you do your research on those GLP-1s.
please.
Do your research. Everything is not for
Hmm.
everybody. And once you get to an ideal weight, because it was designed for diabetes, people just took it and ran with it for
Weight loss.
weight loss
Hmm.
and different entities. But you got to do your own research. Do you want to do on it? Because you don't have to. You had people reversing diabetes before GLP-1s even hit the circuit. So any issue that's out there can be reversed. You got to know how to do it and have the discipline to do that. So follow your doctor's lead. Now, I'm not telling nobody not to follow their
Hmm.
doctor's lead. I'm not telling you to
Mm-mm.
stop your medication because Victoria is
No,
not
no,
a
no,
doctor.
no.
He put you on medication, take your medication until they take you off. But in the meantime, you can do what you need to do to reverse anything that's going on in your body. Don't nobody want to be taking medication until they 90. You start off with one and then you look up and the side
Now you
effects of
got
that one
20.
side effect. You
Hmm.
got 20 medications. I always go back to Miss D. Lee with her
Hmm.
fibromyalgia. She had 50 medications that she was on. 50. How can you take all of that medicine and things don't counteract with something else? And she still couldn't do nothing for herself, taking all that medication. She couldn't comb her hair. She couldn't dress herself. She couldn't cook. You couldn't do anything, but you're destroying your body with medications.
Hmm.
That's not the way to go. Find a natural alternative until you can do better.
And
I
another thing too
always
about
use
those
D.
GLP-1, about those weight loss regimens, when people start getting results and seeing the weight come off, it can be an addiction. Because
For
now
them,
you,
it
yeah,
can,
it
yeah.
can be. So now you're going way past the extreme where you're losing way too much weight.
You back at your baby weight,
Yeah,
50
like she
pounds,
said. So
15
that you
ounces.
got to
You
remember
don't want
that.
to go
You
back there.
sure don't. So you
For
got to be
real.
mindful of that. You have to be mindful of that and know when to come off of that.
But it's hard to come off. So that's
That's
why
the
you
problem
need
because they're
doctors.
addicted to it
You
then.
got to be
It's an
under
addiction.
doctor's
Oh, look at all the
care.
weight that I lost.
But
Maybe I'll just keep on going.
just
No, not at all.
research. Just do your research
Please
because all of
do.
them are, all of them are
And
different.
granted, they are helping some people.
Absolutely. Whoopi talked about
Yeah,
it
they are helping
also.
some people.
She was on Manjaro, and look
Hmm.
at all the weight that Whoopi lost. She
Right,
said she had to lose the weight. So people got to do what they got to do.
right.
We're not knocking anything.
Not at all.
Do you? But in the meantime, take care of yourself behind
Hmm.
the scenes. Do what you need to do for your body. Eat right, exercise,
And that's the key
drink your
right
water,
there.
get a good night's sleep. Do
That's the
what we
key.
need to be doing
Even
for
while doing those shots, do the right thing for what you're feeding your temple because you're the result. You're the side effect of what you put in your body anyway.
absolutely,
So
absolutely,
what you put in is the results you're going to see. If you don't like what you see, change it. But you got to take care, and food can do it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What else is out there? Where else can I go? I
Hmm.
mean, open
Hmm.
up that dialogue with your doctor. If you can't talk to your doctor about this, you need to find another doctor.
And if you can find a workout partner, somebody that can help you and you can coach each other, that's a good thing too. You don't have to be by
Absolutely.
yourself in this.
But find you a good doctor because I
Yes.
had to go through some doctors to get to my progress,
Right.
what I had to go through.
Hmm.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. So, menopause, back to our regular scheduled program. Ah,
That was Lisa Gordon. Hey, Miss Lisa.
that's Pookie's mama.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight. And
A1C is just too high for them to take me off.
well, yeah, you got to get your A1C under control. Look
That's
into
just
your A1C and go get a DEXA scan. Check your whole body out and see why your A1C is high. Go there. Start there. Look for the root cause of things. Let's get back to our regular scheduled program. Miss Lisa, call me if you need to talk. the morning, the morning you talked about teenage menopause. Can you share that here? I'm getting ready to talk about that right now, Miss Pamela Thomas. This morning I shared them with me. The first time I did this menopause report, and I found this report. It said as early as 14.
14.
14. Young lady had menopause. She was a high school student. Her name was Anna. She was from Costa Rica. She was unable to have children. Well, she wasn't trying to have children, but premature ovarian efficiency. They ran this girl through all kind of
Mhm.
tests, all kind of tests. They couldn't understand why her periods were so irregular, why she was all over the place. But come to find out, she was in early menopause,
At
perimenopause
14.
at 14. The next one was 16 years old. Listen to this. She had irregular periods. A lot of teenage girls got irregular periods, not knowing where it comes from. Because now it could be the
Yeah,
food right now with
you
all
don't
the
know.
hormones or whatever. But 16, she had irregular periods or no periods at all for 6 months. She was just all over the place as well. She got tested. She had her text mixed up. They thought they mixed her test up with someone else, but they had to take it over and over and over again. Come to find out, this 16-year-old was also going through
Hmm.
menopause. Menopause, y'all. That's why I say it's not a cookie cutter. It can hit you at any time. You don't know what a person's body has been through. You don't know what if they had some type of trauma that they went through, or they're trying to hold on to something, or you just don't know where a mind is. Listen to this. I found a 25-year-old. I didn't get her name. She was having crazy nightmares
Hmm.
going through menopause. Just crazy nightmares. She had wind up going to a psychiatric hospital from nightmares. Once she hit menopause, these nightmares was just terrifying her. So they had to take her to the hospital, get her tested, and put her on some type of psychotic drug so she wouldn't have these nightmares. Just waking up in a cold sweat and talking about these nightmares. There was another one. This is the model, Beverly Johnson. We all know Beverly Johnson, a beautiful top model, 70 years old. She was having some bleeding during menopause. She had uterine fibroids. She had a surgery. She had a hysterectomy, major surgery, menopause. She was in full blown menopause, but she was still bleeding. She had uterine fibroids.
Hmm.
I told my testimony, part one and part two, the last 2 weeks on our testimony Thursday. And what I found, because I was bleeding as well, and in this report here, I'll get into that in a minute, bleeding after menopause, I found out what was wrong with me because
And
I
it took some
went,
time to find out.
went on a hunt.
Yep.
So we're going to get to that in just a minute. It says late 40s, your body can start aching and you can be misdiagnosed. This young lady was misdiagnosed. They said she had fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia is an autoimmune disease where your body
Attacks
attacks itself.
itself. Hmm.
And your body is 18 different points that your body has to pinpoint in order for them to be diagnosed as fibromyalgia. I mean, you're hurting, your body is aching like a toothache 24/7. We know this personally because Shantae has fibromyalgia and we talked to Miss D. Lee. But fibromyalgia is no joke. And the doctors will tell you it's all in your head. It's not in your head, it's in your body. I know what I feel. That's why I say you got to find a
Hmm.
doctor that's going to listen to you. The next one, they're putting out paid menopause leave for some that got brain fog and hair loss. You got women on their jobs who was just losing it, can't remember certain things. I put something here. Did I do that report? Did I make the phone call? That's brain fog. That can happen to anybody, but you're gonna lose your job behind it. So they're putting out paid menopause leave. Then there was a report that Michelle Obama talked about. She come out and talked about her menopause. She said she said we don't talk about it enough because you thought it was taboo and we really not supposed to talk about it. She said if you made it this far, she said it's a blessing. If you blinking and breathing and you made it this far, it's a blessing. And ain't no shame in your game. That's Michelle
Hmm.
Obama. Because if you make it that far, you're going to go through something. You just are. So you got to get prepared for aging. And somebody asked, do men go through menopause? Yeah, they
Yes,
go
some
through
people do it
menopause
too.
too.
They
They
do.
they have their
Not like
issues.
women, but they have it.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
There was also a study done in 2002 where Black women enter menopause earlier and ours last longer.
Hmm.
African Americans. Aren't we the lucky ones? That's just us, y'all. But
Congratulations.
we go through it earlier and ours lasts longer. It could
Mhm.
be because of your diet. We
I
just,
think it really is.
it is. You think about all the the things that we eat and the things that
Hmm.
the other nationalities eat. Well, come on, you wonder why our numbers are high as
Different from
everybody
everybody
else.
else's.
You got to put it out there. Most women have hysterectomies that probably don't even need a hysterectomy because they're going through hot flash. But having a hysterectomy can throw you into menopause. That could throw
Absolutely,
you
it
into
can.
something because they done took out your ovaries and it can throw you into full blown menopause.
But I'm not looking forward to it. He'll-
Everybody doesn't experience this, Miss Hilda. That's what the report was
So
talking
you may
about.
be one of the lucky
It's
ones.
not a cookie cutter thing. Everybody does not experience it the exact same way. As
Right.
I was saying before, I didn't go through any of that. And we got to stop normalizing the suffering because it's really, really bad. So now I'm going to share with you bleeding after menopause. This is my own testimony. I was bleeding after menopause. I'm 63. I started menopause, I think, what, 57, 58,
Hmm.
somewhere back in there. But I've gone quite a few years without bleeding at all. I told my testimony last week. But in the beginning of January of this year,
Hmm.
2025, I started bleeding. It started with a little spot. I got a little panty line. I was like, oh, first you'll wake up a little wet. It started with discharge, clear discharge. It's like, I don't know, what is that? Where's that coming from? So then it progressed. The discharge was a little more. Then the discharge turned to blood. And I was like, I know this is not right. So we got to do something about this. So I started putting on a panty liner. From a panty liner, I went to a full blown sanitary napkin. I was like, Reggie, something going on. We
Hmm.
got to find what's going
Hmm.
on because I know this is not supposed to be happening. I'm listening to my body.
Hmm.
I had to
Good
find,
thing she did.
I'm telling you, I had to find new doctors. That was the whole report.
Right.
Finding doctors that's going to listen to you. Because the doctor that I found, she
The
wasn't
first one.
hearing nothing
Yeah.
that I was saying. I
All
went
she
to the
went to was prescribed drugs, drugs, drugs.
I went to her office. My blood pressure was sky high. I was telling the family my blood pressure was 245 over 195. You ain't even supposed to be here with a blood pressure that high. That's stroke street for real. She said, "How you feeling?" I'm feeling fine. I'm sitting here talking to you. But you also have to check your blood pressure cup. We talked about that too. If you are a smaller person, you get a smaller cup. If you are a larger person, make sure they put a larger cup because you're going to get different numbers.
Absolutely are.
So the first doctor wasn't listening to me. So I had to find another doctor. If my
Hmm.
blood pressure is high, I did my blood work. You couldn't find anything in my blood work that was running my pressure up that high. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Well, you're the doctor. That's why I'm here. So she wasn't answering any of my questions. And I'm just like, you're not, I told her, you're not answering any of my questions. So I'm going to have to find a I'm going to have to no, I told her, you're not answering any of my questions. She said, well, we got to get your blood pressure under control. I was like, okay, I'm going to find a doctor that specializes in blood pressure. And that's what I did. I found a doctor that specializes in blood pressure. We could get my blood pressure under control, then I could go in and have the surgery. This was a dilemma from January till September
Hmm.
15th. I had my surgery. But it was a whole dilemma. Then I had to put it off in the summer because our daughter had hip
Replacement
replacement.
surgery.
Reggie come down with pneumonia. Our daughter came home with 3 babies. It was just a lot going on. So I had to put myself on the back burner until I take care of my family. So it rolled around and I wound up getting the surgery. So this is the bleeding after menopause. I'm going to read what this says. It says, I thought I was in menopause before I've had my period in 3 years. But the last month I got my period again. I'm 50 years old. What could be happening? Menopause marks the end of having periods and being able to get pregnant. You may reach menopause when you haven't had a period for 12 months. You got to go a whole year. Bleeding from the vagina after menopause is unusual.
Hmm.
Also, that report, I looked up all that. Get checked out by a healthcare provider as soon as possible. That I did. Or look for a doctor, the extra training to find out to treat the disease or the female reproductive organs. That's called a gynecologist.
Hmm.
Found a good one of those as well. This type of bleeding is also called postmenopausal vaginal bleeding, and it can be caused by, listen
Hmm.
to some of these symptoms that could cause bleeding: cancer of the uterus, cervix, or vagina.
Hmm.
This is why I was in a panic
Because this
because
is what she was thinking.
all kind of stuff going through my
Correct.
head, all kind of stuff going through my head.
Mm-hmm.
And the more they put it off, I was like, it could be getting worse.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to get right on this. You see something, you got to say something, you got to jump right on it. The next one is thinning of the tissues that line the uterus and the vagina.
Mm-hmm.
That can also cause some bleeding. That's thinning of the tissues. The next one is uterine fibroids or uterine polyps, which are tissue growths in the uterus that aren't cancerous.
Correct.
I had uterus
Polyps.
polyps.
Had no idea what that was until she got hit with this.
Looking up everything on fibroids.
Yep.
Fibroids this, fibroids that. It could have
Yep.
been anything. Polyps never came up. But I was telling the family when I told my testimony, I went to the bathroom and I told Reggie when I urinated, something popped out of my uterus. I couldn't catch it. It didn't fall out, but it popped out of my vagina. So I jumped off that toilet, flew in my bedroom, threw my leg up on that stool. I had a flashlight and my phone trying to see what the heck it was. And it was a polyp and I could see it. So I know that that wasn't supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know once I sat down, it was going to absorb and go back in there. But I didn't know what the heck that was, but I sure found out what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And we went in and I had the surgery. She said it was several polyps inside of my uterus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what was causing the bleeding, the
Mm-hmm.
friction of the polyps. So a lot of late, I have fibroids too. Some of the fibroids have calcified over and they get hard.
Right.
But she removed all of that. But you don't know what is inside of you until you do your research, do your homework, and all of it. And I just want to know, well, where did that come from? You know, if I eat good, I exercise, I do this, I do
But as
this.
you can see, what the report stated, you never know.
You never know. So you got to take care and you got to listen
exactly
to your body. See, my first
and don't
doctor
just
wasn't listening.
exactly and don't take that first. Go get that second and third, like she
Second and
did,
third opinion.
until she got some
You
answers.
better.
Because there's a lot of women and men too. They'll take that first analysis. All right, whatever you say, I'm going to do.
Start taking
So
that
I'd say,
medication and start making
You
it
better
worse.
go. You better go
No,
speak to other people. Get that second and third opinion. 'Cause what if she never did that? And she decided, and a lot of women get frustrated and say, you know what, I'm just going to give up. She didn't give up.
I wasn't going to give up.
But there's a lot of women and men that do. They'll just give up and let what be be. We can't do that. It's your body. You got to take care of that.
Absolutely. So when I found out and we went back and I got my
Mhm.
results back from she said nothing was cancerous, everything has been removed. It was like a woosah.
And
You
everything
could
stopped
breathe.
after she took care of all of that. Everything stopped.
No bleeding. I didn't
No
have
discharge, nothing.
nothing afterwards. I was up and bouncing around. You know, you
Mhm.
got that anesthesia got to wear off a little bit, but you up and you can get about your business.
Right,
You know?
back to normal.
Pay attention to your body, listen to your body, and find a doctor that's going to listen to you. Because my
Correct.
first doctor wasn't listening. She didn't hear nothing that I had to say. She wanted to tell me what she wanted me to know. So you got to find a doctor that's going to listen to you. So another reason that you could be bleeding, it could be an infection in the uterine lining. Ladies, you got to find out what's going on down there. You also have hormone therapy and different medications that can cause bleeding as well. Bleeding from nearby body parts, such as your urinary tract or your rectum. Bleeding from your rectum, that could be something totally different. That could be colon cancer or anything.
Yeah.
But any bleeding at all, you know you're not supposed to be leaking. So you definitely want to go get that checked out. The next one is endometrial hypoplasia, when the lining of the uterus grows too much and it becomes thickened. I had a little bit of that too. The uterine, what is it? Uterine endometrial hypoplasia, where the thickened of the uterus. So a little bit of that was going on as well. So you got to find out what's going on, family. Don't play around with your body. And this is during menopause. If you don't went through all of that and went through all of that and now you got something else going on, I said, oh no, we got to do better. We got to do better. But as African American women, we got to do better, period. I'm going to show you this book I got on menopause. This is Christine Northrup, The Wisdom of Menopause. She got a second book out now. I don't even know what the second book is, but this book here got everything in it that you need. See all my little notes I take? But it has everything in it. And then going through the doctors and all of that research, I picked this up in the doctor's office. This is another Black women. And it says menopause managing your symptoms. And they talk a lot about that what
What's
you call
that?
hot flash drug,
Oh,
Viazo in here, the hot flash drug.
that don't work for everybody because it didn't work for my sister. My sister used that and it made
It
them worse.
threw her into a tailspin
Yeah.
too. But the side effects, you got to look at the side
Mhm.
effects. It's 100% hormone free. That's what they say, Vioza. It's for your vasomotor symptoms. That's hot flashes. But you got to read up on it. When you go to the doctor's office, pick up all these doggone magazines because I get everything I can get my hands on
Mhm.
when I go to the doctor's office. In here, they're big on exercising. We got to exercise at a certain age too, family. You got to really get your body moving. So here at Artists, like I was going over this report and they were talking about certain things we need to eat.
Right.
What the lady from the report last night, she was saying your food, your nutrition is king, your nutrition is queen. So your nutrition is absolutely everything. You got to give your body what your body is asking for. Everybody's body is totally different. If you're not going to eat your vitamins, you're going to have to take some type of supplement.
Exactly.
You are just going to, because our food is being depleted. They're messing with the water. They're spraying all kind of pesticides, herbicides, and all these things on our food. So you got to take your health into your own hands, or you're going to wind up in the doctor's office
Hmm.
because something is going to go wrong. Now, in Artists here, we have these products here that's on the screen. You don't have to take everything. We do. Just got a shipment in. We take everything that's on this screen.
Hmm.
We're going to start with the Ultra Body Cleanse back there in the back. That's a detox. Detox some of these toxins out of your body. And I detox regularly, so you thought that some of that would have been flush. What if I wasn't doing any of my products?
Not
Where,
to, yeah,
where
exactly.
would that
Yeah,
have
if you weren't
been?
doing anything
Anything
and
in
your
your
immune
body.
system was weak and compromised, think
Ain't
about
no
that.
what would have went
Anything
on.
could have happened.
And then they want to pile on drugs, drugs
Hmm.
after drugs after drugs, and all drugs. They start to mess with your kidneys and your liver. So detox is key to cleaning out pesticides, herbicides, and all these things out of your system. So the detox is very good for cleaning your kidneys, your lungs, your liver, your kidney, all of that. That's a detox. We also have our green Lviv, that bottle up front, part of our three essentials. That's milk thistle. The report talked about milk thistle for your liver, detoxing your liver. Your liver is your largest organ. You want to detox your liver. The next one is our green 29. These are all vegetables. They also sweep toxins out of your body. These are all vegetables, 29 different vegetables that your body is asking for. You have our yellow Lviv, again, part of the three essentials. That is a multivitamin for all of your health issues, and it's great for depression too. Yellow Lviv. Then we have omega 3, 6, and 9, like the report talked about. Eat those omegas, they're good for your overall health. Good fats, we need those good fats. You got your omegas, you got walnuts, you got avocados, eat those good fats. Also, collagen coffee. That's Mr. Flanagan's absolute favorite.
There it is.
I'll get a cup every now and then when he's not here.
What?
But the collagen coffee is for collagen. That's what the report talks about. As we age, we lose elasticity in your skin. So you got to put collagen back in your body on a daily
Very good
basis.
product.
Orange juice has collagen in it, but it's also loaded with a lot of sugar. So get you some collagen sources. You can buy collagen in a separate container, and you can put that in your coffee, or you can add that to certain what you call shakes. But get your collagen. We need our collagen daily.
And she mentioned orange juice. If you like orange juice, buy the orange and juice your own.
You could do that
Don't buy
too.
that concentrated stuff. That's the worst you can do. Get the natural orange and have the natural sweetener that's in it that it was supposed to have. That's God's candy. Make sure you juice it and have your own sweet
This
tasting
coffee
good
is the
orange juice.
best. You are absolutely right,
Absolutely.
Miss Hilda. We can't live without
Hmm.
it. I be fiending for my weight loss coffee. That's my favorite, the weight loss coffee. To get up and have a good, healthy cup of coffee. No, it's one less than 1% caffeine, so it's not going to give you the jitters.
No.
You can have a cup of coffee and go to bed, but it's a smooth cappuccino. I mean,
Yes.
just a good cup of coffee. I'm gonna have a cup as soon as I get off of this
Yep.
Zoom. But it's just a good cup of coffee, very healthy for you. The next one is a coral calcium. This is for bones. Like the report talked about, osteoporosis, osteopenia. You want to take care of your bones, your hair loss. That's calcium. That's our coral calcium. It has magnesium and potassium in it. We got everything that you need. We truly do. It's a one-stop shop. That's our coral calcium. Then we have memory fusion. That's down front. Going through menopause, you're going to have some brain fog. You're going to have some mood swings. You're going to have some delusions. You might have those nightmares in your sleep. Take care of your brains. You got to really take care of your brains. You got to get off of them cell phones. You got to get back to reading, not too much TV. But memory fusion feeds your brain. It has a lion's mane mushrooms, good mushrooms for your brains. So that's a good one. We have our red Lviv, again, part of those three essentials right there together. High in antioxidants, all red berries for your overall health. Take care of your overall health. Then we have our shanty. Shanty is not up there.
No, not yet.
We
We'll
got
add
our
it out when we
shield
get
though,
back.
right? Our
Yeah.
shield is there too. That's an immune booster to build up your immune system with the weather changing. I put something on my page today. In the morning is winter, by the afternoon is summertime, and then winter comes back after 6. That's here in Jersey. I weather all over the place. So we got to keep our immune system strong. But you really got to take care of yourself. And then we have the 7-in-1 coffee over here. This is a mushroom coffee. This is like a brain tonic too for your
And
brains.
mushrooms are good for you, especially in this coffee.
They are
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic for you. You can't go wrong with anything that's up here. We have a shake for a meal replacement. You could add all your juices together. The cran aloe is good. That's a natural diuretic. That was one of my favorites when I was going through my issues. That cran aloe and that pure noni. Great for inflammation, for swelling. It's natural diuretics. It can bring down, it's just absolutely fantastic products. And like I said, you don't know where my journey would have gone if I wasn't on these products.
Indeed.
Because I do try to eat right. We don't do a lot of red meat. Well, we don't
No,
do
we
any
don't
red
red
meat.
meat.
We don't. We do a lot of salmon. We do a lot of
A
vegetables.
lot of stir
A
fry.
lot of stir
Hmm
fries. We do a lot of that. Drink my water.
hmm
Not enough water. I'm guilty to that. Not drinking enough
My
water.
green teas.
Green
Always.
teas, I do have my teas, my valerian tea, my dandelion tea. I do my teas, but you just don't know what your body is going to react to. And think about what's going on right now. Some of these adult issues are being developed in our children because your children are not getting the nutrition that they need. They're playing on the phone. They're getting their you know, mess me up. They're going through the television, watching too much TV and playing video games. So the kids got to get out and move around too. So those are just some products that we have here in Artists that may help with menopause. I know they help me. I'm not going through none of that craziness. They may help you. Get in contact with a distributor and just get you some. You can follow us on the Power Couple of Health on YouTube. Every report I have done is on YouTube.
Absolutely.
You can follow us on YouTube. You can go back and pull up anything. Go back and look at that sugar. Go back and look up dairy is scary. Go back and look at the report on loneliness because people are getting sick from just being lonely. Check out some of those reports. All of them are about an hour long. Trying to get them short, Joe, but it's just so much I have to tell. But I'm working on it. I'm doing better.
It's good information though, and people need to hear it.
Yeah,
So
but
you
people
can't
don't
put time on something that's good.
people don't have their whole hour to sit still long enough. We're in a microwave society. Everybody want everything like this. But
It,
sometimes you need to slow down, take some time
yep.
to forget about
Indeed. Indeed.
time and work on yourself.
Indeed.
So with that being said, that's going to complete our report next week. Next week is the last week of October. I am
Talking
doing
about
breast
breast cancer.
cancer awareness.
Mhm.
There are some cures, folks. There are some things that you can slow the process down. We have to make better choices. So that's where we are with that. So we're going to say, you got anything else you
I
want to
just want to,
add,
as
sir?
always, thank everybody for supporting the platform and being here and staying fast. I mean, the fact that you stayed on, we're an hour and half hour, almost an hour and a half. But I'm gonna tell you, it's good stuff. When you got good information, you can't put a time on that.
Do your
You really
research.
can't. And again, do your research. But again, thank you guys both on Zoom and Facebook. We really appreciate you guys. You make it all worth it. We wish we had a whole lot more to listen to this information. There's so many people that need to hear it, but we're going to keep doing it as long as we possibly can to keep sharing information, keep giving the information based on what she does with her research. It's good stuff. But with that, as always, we do love you guys,
You know
and
it.
there's
Nothing
nothing
you
you
can
can
do
do
about
about it
it.
either.
Join us again next Wednesday for breast cancer.
Absolutely. Who do you know? Let's make it
Absolutely,
happen.
absolutely, absolutely. So good night, family. God
Yep,
bless you and take care of yourselves.
absolutely. Bye for now, family. Love you guys.